What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. She's known to ask some strange questions, too, but never how old is the TV salesman? It's the one and only Teresa right there.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? I don't think I'm following you.
Oh, boy. She's known to watch a couple channels. I'm talking American television and the Egyptian television. But she never asked the age of the TV salesman. Or did he make it back to his hotel room okay?
I am following
you follow now.
Yeah, I don't do any of that shit.
No, and if you did, I wouldn't buy it. That seems a little too personal of a question for the old TV sales, for the old Geek Squad.
Also, I mean, I get that a lot of people buy stuff from China. We're all guilty of it. Why not, right?
Yeah, even when you're trying not to.
That was a very different way of buying things from China.
Again, I don't know. Maybe I don't totally understand everything that takes place in other countries. So I don't know cultures and customs and norms of every single country. Maybe in Egypt, you do. You hop on Facebook Marketplace and you buy straight from China. I don't know. Maybe that's customary.
I don't know, but I thought it would be very expensive. What I was talking about is all those fun websites like Shein, all those cheap clothing websites that sometimes you get some good stuff, right? You gotta read the reviews.
I've never shopped a website called Shein.
Yeah, it's like you gotta read the reviews because if you don't, it's gonna be a big miss.
Okay.
But those are clothes generated from China, brought to the US, and it's relatively very cheap, right? Mm-hmm. But if anything goes wrong, you have a customer service. They pay you for shipping, or you may pay a little bit, right? Buying a TV through a Facebook Marketplace, imagine if that person has to ship it. That would be very expensive.
Yeah, no, the whole thing's not really adding up.
No, it's not. It was just I know exactly what happened. Ahmed was like, bro, she's American. She's like not being submissive. She's doing whatever she wants. Look at my girl from China. Uh-huh. Try that. Try it on Facebook. But I guess he didn't tell him how. So yeah. Mahmoud went to the marketplace and he tried to flirt his way to a Chinese girl, but he got caught.
Nicole was a little too smart for that.
I think that's what happened. I think Ahmed was telling him like, hey, like, look what I have at home. That girl dresses properly, does it all. So. No fights. She learned the language. So
I'm with you on that part, but the whole like, let me pretend I'm buying a TV.
I think that was his move. Like, I know some people
buy someone a drink, don't buy a TV.
Well, that's not what he does. But I'm saying like, a lot of these 90 days, how many times have you heard that, oh, we met on Facebook, we friended each other, right? Well, yeah. Mahmoud went through the marketplace.
Took a wrong turn, went to the marketplace.
Yes.
Hey, whatever it takes. But I don't think, well, just wait for my by the way.
All right.
Speaking of, before we get into the show, a little business real quick. We're on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Message us there. Check out the memes. We got some memes over there. We're having fun on Instagram. So follow us along at Married to Reality Pod. Also join us on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Married to Reality. Love in Paradise is cooking over there. And what a season it is.
Yes. And as you guys know, for the Family Affair members, we do bonuses, and this month's bonus we are not gonna tell, but this month's bonus was a fun one.
Why wouldn't we tell? That's not very good marketing.
Oh, you want to tell?
Well, we should tell, and then maybe people will be excited and they'll want to join us on Patreon.
All right.
Guys, we're having a lot of fun. We're covering amazing shows, but we're not going to tell you what they are. So
all right, I see the flaw of my advertising skills.
Yes, we do one extra bonus a month for the Family Affair friends over there. And this month we did a Netflix show.
Oh my gosh.
Mer People.
I'm so hooked. Mer People.
Mer People. It is people who, is it identify as mermaids or just dress up as mermaids?
I wouldn't say identifies because I feel like that's in 2023, you would make a very, very strong statement.
Okay, right. They don't think they don't believe they're mermaids.
I
That's
think
what
they
I'm saying.
want
It's a
to
fine
be.
line.
I think they want to be mermaids,
Yes.
and they play mermaids. And I think the goal of the mer people, for many of them, the goal is to be a full-time mermaid to pay their bills with
Yes.
mermaiding.
There's only about 50 in the world.
Yeah.
Now we're giving away too much for free, Teresa. See, you hooked me.
Okay, well,
hooked-
mer people.
Mer people on Patreon, the Family Affair bonus this month. And yeah, that's just a wild show. If you don't join the Patreon, just watch it on Netflix
I was just gonna say
because it's out of control.
it's out of control.
So that's patreon.com/marriedtoreality. Also, just make sure you're following along right here, right now, wherever you're listening. So whenever we drop an episode, you won't miss it. It'll come right to your device. It's so easy to follow. You just look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as Tim's metallic jacket. Because I was just telling John, I went on Zara, and obviously I buy too many things, but metallics are back.
All right, so
They're
Tim's
back
on
in
trend.
style, and look at Tim.
Look at him. I was having a hard time not looking at him in that jacket. There is. But yes, smash
I
like
just
it's ass
found this
hot.
a really nice pair of metallic shoes. I might get. Oh,
Oh, all right.
moving on.
Smash like it's as hot as that attire. And last but not least, if you haven't left a review, please do. We love when you guys leave reviews. We love when you rate, review. If you guys leave a 5-star review, Teresa just whipped off her shoe and it's a metallic shoe.
I'm actually wearing metallic shoes. They're my home shoes, but they're cool and
You
metallic.
should have seen her face when she pulled that up from under the table. She surprised her and I both, I think. So back to the reviews. We love it when you guys share the love. And if you leave a 5-star review and write something, we'll read it on this podcast.
Yes.
I have one I would like to read.
Do it.
Okay. This one comes to us from our friend Jay Dudding.
Hello, Jay Dudding.
You're not going to love this review. Let me just say that, Teresa.
Okay.
All right. 5 stars. This is a little bit of a confusing review, actually.
I'll take the 5 stars.
5 stars, titled 90 Days. Then goes on to say, I love this podcast and this couple.
Okay.
Continued good health to you both. Nash Vegas.
Ah!
Teresa hates when I say Nash Vegas. I was confused because the title of the review is 90 Days, but Nash Vegas is a reference to our maps coverage.
Yeah. Well, maybe your friend is watching it and listening to it all, which I love.
Jay Dudding, we love you diving into all of it. You're not just here for one show, you're here for it all. So thank you for that.
Listen, I love the review. Even though you're with John on this one, I'll take it. I'm okay with it. I'll take the nice review. So thank you.
Thank you, Jay Dudding.
Thank you, Jay
Beautiful review.
Dudding.
I really appreciated it.
Yeah, John is like dancing around here. He's like, yes.
Nash Vegas.
Oh, okay.
I have to get it one more time in for this season. My chances are dwindling. Okay.
Yes, for a reason.
Okay. All right. That is the business. Let's do it. A little 90-day, by the way. I got a couple steamy ones over here.
All right.
All right. Number 1, Jesse of Jarcy? Who's Jarcy? That would have been their power couple name. Jesse of Darcy and Jesse, or more recently, Jennifer and Jesse.
Okay.
He has started a business. He's dabbled in a lot of things. He's dabbled in podcasting and jewelry and calendars. This one may have some promise. He started his own real estate company in Spain.
Okay.
It's called Meester Estate.
Is he still with Jennifer?
I don't have the answer to that, but all signs are pointing to yes. But this is his newest venture, Meester Estate.
Okay.
I thought at first it was a hotel or like a single property or a villa that he would rent out, judging by the name Meester Estate. He's like he's missing one word. It needs to be Meester Real Estate. But Meester Estate, meesterestate.com. It says Meester Estate in Marbella Private Collection is a premier real estate agency with the finest privately owned properties, new developments, off-plan and market opportunity in and around Marbella on the Costa del Sol.
I think estate he means it like land. Like
Meester
Meester's
land?
land.
Oh,
Meester
okay.
land.
So he's got several properties listed for sale on the
Does
website.
he? Oh, like, okay, he's
the agent.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But these properties are in the millions.
Oh, wow.
So you make your normal couple % commission. He's going to be doing all right. So he's selling several. He's also got several amazing rental properties that start in the thousands per night.
Oh, wow.
So he's dealing with some luxury property over here.
Interesting. I mean, didn't he do something like that? Traveling, promoting luxurious
I think he was an
brands?
influencer, but now he's making the turn from it just influencing to really selling.
I mean,
More than
good
just
for
selling
him.
himself, selling these properties.
Good for him.
At some point, we all have to grow up and get a real job, and it seems like he's doing that. No one was buying his Jennifer and Jesse necklaces and bracelets, probably, so he's going to try to sell something else, and it's a house. So, all right, check it out if you want, meesterestate.com. You'll get all the information there.
Awesome. What's the other one?
Number 2. Okay, this is a story that's making waves in the 90-day world.
Oh, I think I know.
I alluded to it at the top of the show when we were talking about Nicole and Mahmoud. They were spotted together at LAX, Los Angeles International Airport. Okay.
Thanks for the full name.
Well, I'm sure some of our friends hear LAX. They don't know what that is.
Okay.
Not everyone that listens to us is even from America.
That's very true.
Okay.
Very true.
Right.
You see, I'm so ignorant.
So much ignorance from that
So
stuff.
much ignorance.
But that's why you ask great questions. But you
because
just don't,
I'm ignorant.
Well, no, because you're trying to learn. You don't want to be ignorant.
I mean, I knew what LAX is, so.
You did.
All right.
So they were
Back to my ignorance.
They were spotted together at LAX, and a couple things to take note of. One, they weren't alone. Film crews were there, capturing their every move. So then the question is, what were they filming? One clue leads me to believe they were filming 90 Day OG.
I would hope so, because they cannot be on Happily Ever After. They would skip the whole American part,
Well, they
right?
could. I mean, they're breaking
They
the rules
could,
left
they
and
could.
I'm pretty sure Gino and Jasmine are on before the 90 days
they
twice.
Are. Yeah.
Twice. So Nicole was holding a sign while waiting for Mahmoud. Big poster. It said, "Welcome home, my love." So that seems like it's more than just a little visit, a little vacation in California.
Oh, for sure. And thanks, guys. So many of you sent us this that I don't even know all the names, but you guys know who you are. Thanks for sending it. I was mind blown because I honestly, watching Nicole and Mahmoud on about episode 3, I'm telling John, she's on Expedia right now trying to book her plane tickets back home.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even think they're gonna stay on the full season. I thought she's gonna pack up her shit and leave on like episode 5. She's gonna be back in LA. I can't believe this is actually happening and he's coming to the US, but I'm here for it.
Well, I thought that it was all a ruse. I thought they had a real relationship in the past and they probably applied to be on 90. And by the time TLC responded to them, they had broken up, but they got the email and they said, "Oh my gosh, here's our chance to be on TV. So let's pretend we're back together." And I thought like that's kind of why things seemed weird and off and like they were acting and that there was no love there. But it seems like if they're going to continue down this path, there's actually a relationship. Maybe my story's true and TLC brought them back together. Imagine that. Imagine they were broken up, but they got back together to film the show.
They were broken up.
But imagine they got back together just to film the show and now they actually found love for real while filming.
Interesting, because they were miserable most of this season.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm curious to see him in the US. But just the fact that Nicole is wearing a shoulderless dress, like a one-shoulder dress, tells me that they probably hashed out the whole wardrobe. Like, yes, he probably might say something, and he said he will, but I don't think he's gonna be as hardcore, because there is one thing like, oh, you don't want, I don't want you to show your body, but okay, compromise. Like you can wear a short sleeve shirt, not to go all the way sexy and showing half of her body.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because one of my other notes about this video, there's like a 12-minute long video of this encounter on YouTube if you're interested. Just search.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. Search Nicole and
that.
Mahmoud LAX, which is Los Angeles International Airport. It's like a 12-minute video. In it, you see she's got red hair now.
Yeah.
She's changed her hair color. But she's dressed very modestly.
Yeah, I saw the photo.
Leather jacket over a long dress. So I don't know. Maybe she felt comfortable while she was sitting on a tell-all set with Mahmoud miles and miles away that she could dress how she wanted. But now when he's there in person, she's very modest.
I mean, also going to pick up someone at the airport, like, what do you want to wear? A miniskirt and heels? I mean, we've seen that.
We've seen that.
I don't recommend it because it sucks. You have to help the person with the luggage. So, like, leather jacket and a long dress, that's not bad. I freaking love my leather jacket.
I mean, it was just very covered up. It's all, you know, she
Might
could have worn
also
a
be
t-shirt.
cold.
She could have worn a t-shirt.
Well,
She
it's not
could've-
always hot in LA.
No, it's not.
So,
Yeah, okay. All right. It just seemed layered. She was wearing layers.
Yeah, and again, might be for a cold reason, might be for, okay, let me welcome him all covered up.
Right. I don't want to
and
fight
see
the
how
minute
things are.
he
Yeah.
touches down. Yeah, good point. But okay, so that's 90 Day by the way, and I'm excited about this one. I love when the person who you think will never come.
Yeah.
And we rarely see it. These relationships, they usually fizzle out and you never see it. Angela and Michael. Not that it's fizzled out, but this is, you want to see Michael in America.
Yeah. I hope he'll make it, but I don't think so.
Mahmoud, you want to see him in America.
Oh, yeah. Like, we wanted to see Ziad in America.
You want to see Ziad in America, and it delivered.
Oh.
I wonder how that shopping cart's doing. All right. That is 90 Day by the way. Let's do it. Let's get into it. I feel like we've already started talking about it.
Yeah, classic.
Sunday night, 90 Day Fiancé, the other way. Tell all part 3. It did not need to be 3 parts.
No, it did.
Let me just say that right.
No, it did.
It did. I thought
I'm loving it.
Let's go to a rooftop bar. Let's go to a hotel. Let's have some drinks and some conversation. Let's go to somebody's messy hotel room and really let it all out. But no, we had none of that we got the last tell all.
Oh, I think the last tell was because those were old school 90 days. They know what's up, right? They can, let's put them together because they will deliver some heat. These are all
True.
like fresh fish. The first time doing the tell-all.
They're too polite with each other.
Yeah.
Except for Gabe.
Yeah, but I don't think he would be very, I think he can get confrontational when he's surrounded by people. Like, there is no Angela who's going to jump at him, right? Maybe Chris.
True.
But I don't think one-on-one Gabe would be very confrontational.
He says he's not.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see someone like really speaking up when they feel safe and surrounded and thinking like, okay, I have all this support by other people, but one-on-one.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, I feel like I would, if I had to speak up and really speak my mind, I would probably do it in front of like more people, knowing or hoping that they will take my side instead of like confront someone one-on-one. Like, I'm also non-confrontational. It would depend what it is. If it's something that I can hush out and that other person wouldn't get crazy offended or punch me, sure. But as we know, on 90 Day, many of these people can lose their shit. We saw Angela. I think Chris can also lose her shit. So I don't think I would really be doing any confronting one-on-one.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of Chris, we pick up with her and the ex-boyfriend story. That was the cliffhanger of the previous tell.
Yeah, we rewind it like 15 times.
Teresa and I had to like roll out a chalkboard to try and figure this storyline out. We honestly, legitimately, 100% truthfully rewound it 3 times.
Yeah.
To try. We went back to the previous episode.
Yep.
We went back to tell all part 2 to be like, well, maybe we have to watch the last 5 minutes of that to understand what's going on here. So we did that. And the conclusion we've come to is that before Chris ever met Jamie in person, she disappeared for 20 days, some
Yes,
say.
and we knew that.
We knew that. But during those 20 days, Chris found out that her ex was sending photos to Jamie.
Photos of Chris and the ex having sex and like some nudes.
I'm still disappointed we don't see that proof.
I don't think I want
Hit me with the Dateline photo. Just keep showing that one photo of her naked on that rare motorcycle.
Why would you want to see that?
Proof. I want the receipts, Teresa.
Oh,
I'm a reporter.
You have a dirty mind.
I'm an investigative journalist, and I need the receipts before I can tell the news.
Ew.
But okay, so that's where it got confusing was that the ex is sending Jamie photos, because I'm sitting there going, well, how does the ex know about Jamie? How does the ex know how to get in contact with Jamie? So that's where my timeline went astray. But apparently this is happening during the 20-day disappearance. Chris finds out that these photos are being sent.
Here's where I lose them. How did you find out? If you don't talk to Jamie, I assume you don't talk to your ex. Unless your ex was like, hey, guess what I'm doing? I'm sending your naked photos to your current girlfriend. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, she finds out, apparently, somehow, kicks the door down, grabs his phone and crushes it, and then ran away. These are her words. And Tim and Veronica, like Teresa and I, are like, something's not adding up here.
Like,
somebody's lying.
WTF.
Yeah. It's a little confusing. Jamie says... Chris said she only disappeared for 5 days. It was Jamie who said 20.
Yeah.
So maybe it was 5. Maybe it was they did start talking when the ex started sending these photos. So they did talk about that, but then she went radio silent again.
Let's just be honest. One of them, and I don't know which one, loves exaggerating numbers. It's the money, it's the timeline. I don't know who. I honestly, like, I definitely like Jamie better than I like Chris for a lot of reasons. But I don't know. With the whole money, like, why would Chris keep saying she sent her 10 grand if, yes,
Because
Jamie has proof. Like, if you transfer money, there is a trace. Like, why would you be lying about something that can be literally, you can pull it up on your phone?
Yeah. You need to be talking about the same thing if you're going to have a conversation or a debate. And I think Jamie is talking about actual money sent to her. And I think Chris is talking about,
the money.
Well, I spent $1,000 on plane tickets to get there. And then once I was there, I took you out to dinner. And and who knows if that even adds up to 10K. I'm sure it gets closer.
Yeah.
But they're kind of having two separate conversations.
Yeah. Also, like, I started thinking throughout, I started taking Jamie's side a little more because then Chris went from 10K to 7K. And then she couldn't show the proof because she no longer has that bank account. And it's like,
This is so dumb.
Okay, I don't know. I feel like, how often do adults close their bank accounts?
Well,
Not that often.
Even the reason was like, well, I don't have the receipts because it was on a bank account that I don't have anymore because the bank thought someone stole my identity. And so they closed it. Okay, say that's true.
The banks don't just close your bank accounts. Like, they let you know and be like, hey, is this you who withdraw all that money? If not, let us block.
Right. They might freeze it without telling you.
No one's gonna be like, oh, someone might be stealing your identity. Just goodbye and find a new bank. Find a new bank.
We don't want you as a customer. You're too much trouble.
That's why I'm like, okay, you're not making any sense right now.
But let's go with her story because I can still punch holes in it. Say the bank just did up and close. Because I'm sure she's not doing her banking with a reputable financial institution like Bank of America. She's probably some backwoodsbanking.com.
Or Citibank.
Or Citibank. They're known to screw you, aren't they, Teresa?
I love Citibank.
Then why would you say, oh, the reputable? Like,
oh, yeah.
No, who was the bank that everyone kept stealing money from you?
Oh, Citibank.
Right, that's what I'm saying. When we lived in New York City, Teresa had money stolen from her every month or two.
They got better. I need to knock it. But
okay.
Bank of America screwed me over.
Not a sponsor, I don't think. I hope.
I don't love Bank of America.
I'm a BOA guy. But anyways, let's say the bank did close. You would still have emails. Every time we send money to a bank account or a transfer, you get an email that says, hey, we've initiated this transfer.
Yeah.
And so pull up the emails. Even if you delete the bank account, close the bank account, you'll still have the emails.
Yeah.
So it doesn't add up.
It does not. And I think Chris is starting to like drown in her own lies. And then we have Mona joining.
Mother Mona.
And Mona thinks that Jamie was looking for a sugar mom. And let me say this. If she was, that was a bad pick. Because with Chris saying, hey, I work 15 jobs to make ends meet, right? That's not what sugar mamas do. Like, if Jamie really wanted a sugar mama, she should have fished a little more and find someone with money who can actually sugar her.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't Chris. So I don't think Jamie was looking for a sugar mama because it just doesn't make sense. Like, if you want someone with money, that unless she thinks like, oh, Chris works 3 jobs, she has more money.
That's
not
true.
like Chris works 3 jobs to make ends meet. So I don't know, but I don't think that's what Jamie was going for, to search for a better life.
No, the only red flag was that she quit her job, but she was told to quit her job.
Yeah.
It wasn't like she's like, cool, now that you're here paying the bills, I'm going to quit my job. Chris said you should quit your job. And then the only like other semi-red flag was you went above the rent allocation.
Yeah, and it's like, again, maybe Jamie thinking, oh, she works all these jobs to make more money, so we're fine. Like, I don't know what she thought. You're right. Like, if you agree on something, then don't go around your partner and do something that you didn't agree on. Like, at the end of the day, like, especially when it comes to money, you should always agree with your partner.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not working.
And especially if it's like a new relationship. It's like, I can't even imagine if you like when we first started not dating, but when we moved in together, and I was like, oh, I'll be paying you $1,000 a month for rent, and I'll start sending you 500 each month, and be like,
Right.
What?
Right.
Like what? What? You said,
Or even 900 if you
Yeah.
promised $1,000. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
At this point in a relationship, or even earlier than this, but you could have a conversation and be like, hey, I thought I could pay this much. Turns out I can't. Are you cool if I pay? But like,
yeah, exactly. It's a
just
conversation.
to not have the conversation to go and spend someone
Yeah.
else's money. It's a little sketchy, but I'm still team Jamie. The only person who's not is Deb with the bad takes.
I don't get that.
I don't. Well, because she's equating what Jamie did to what Usama did. And it's not the same. But she's saying, you, Chris, are the only one working. Jamie's not working at all. And so she's going, well, that's similar to me and Usama. Usama didn't want to work. He wanted to be an artist. And
Yeah.
so she feels taken advantage of by Usama. So she's projecting that on to Jamie.
Yeah. Well, Usama here with the best line of the episode, because Debbie takes Chris aside and Sean is like, what about you, Usama? Like, well, what do you think? He's like, I try to understand, but I understand nothing.
I'm with you, Usama.
With like this like straight face, just like a robot. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, I love it.
Yeah.
That's all of us, because John and I, as
You
we
are
said,
a poet, Osama. Perfectly
yeah. Very poetic, very poetic. Yeah, we all were like, yes, yeah, we rewinded 15 times,
put. Yeah,
and yes.
we don't understand either, but we are too embarrassed to admit that we don't understand nothing, and so we didn't.
Then Mona said something that's so true, and I agree with her, because she goes like, I think they both just loved the idea of the relationship, not thinking about how it's gonna work. Like Chris, with all her issues, moving to a new country,
Sure.
right? How do you gonna do it with money? How do you gonna do it with your medications? Like, they just didn't think through it. It was very spontaneous. And Mona was like, I don't wish nothing bad to Jamie. I wish her nothing but the best. But this relationship just would not work, because that was just on a paper an idea. I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. We're gonna have the best life. But they just didn't work through all the little things that many times people forget about, but it comes down to.
Yeah, maybe.
Like how are you gonna pay your rent, etc.
Maybe one of the fastest relationships to ever fizzle out on 90 Day Fiancé.
Is it?
In person, for sure. I feel
I mean,
like it was
look
like
at Debbie and Usama. I think that was a little faster.
that wasn't a relationship, Teresa.
I mean, I guess.
Oh, come on. That was not.
That was a companionship.
That was companionship. Yeah.
Like in The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So, all right. Then we circle back to Nicole and Mahmoud, and we bring in brother Ahmed. Sean wants to know why so much arguing.
Fellowship. Sorry. I was like
Well, I don't know
thinking
what
about
the-
The Lord of the Rings. It was fellowship, not
Oh,
companionship.
oh, okay. Well,
Just for our Lord of
Never
the
saw
Rings
it.
fans.
right.
So they don't think I'm a moron.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Nicole and Mahmoud.
So, I don't know. Did Sean not watch this season or even 2 minutes? Did she not even see like on last episode? Because it's pretty obvious why they argued so much. But Ahmed says, well, they knew nothing about each other. Now they're trying to learn, but they knew nothing, which is kind of BS, because they went back and forth and back and forth so many times. Like, Nicole knew what she was getting into. She was just stubborn in her ways.
Yeah.
And Mahmoud, and not saying this negatively because he had every right to be, but he was stubborn too. Like, he wasn't going to change for Nicole. So it was just two people who weren't willing to change.
Yeah, and it's like Nicole marrying someone from a very different culture, someone who's like very religious, not knowing, converting, not knowing all the ins and outs. It's just very, very dumb. I like Nicole, but I'm gonna call this that it was a dumb move. She shouldn't have done that. You don't just marry someone within a week and convert to a religion that you know nothing about, and then when it's expected of you, rightfully so, you freak out. Like, don't do that. Like, take your time, research, see if you might like it, and if you don't convert, and then see if you can make the relationship work without you converting. And if you can't, then don't marry.
That's why I'm very interested to see how it's going to play out in America, because Nicole's going to be even more empowered. She was doing what she wanted to do, more or less, in Egypt. Now she's going to be in America, where the laws are on her side, her family and friends are on her side. She's going to feel more empowered to wear what she wants, do what she wants, say what she wants. And I think I think Mahmoud's gonna have to go with it a little bit more.
Or go home.
Or go home.
Like there is no middle ground unless she agrees to it.
Yeah, because I'm sure she's gonna be able to point to so many more Muslims in America and say, look at how much more reformed they are.
Yeah, but
Mahmoud.
some are, some are not. And if his level of religion is where he's at, then I mean, he needs to be the one who wants to change. You cannot force him to change. If he wants to be more reformed, that's up to him.
Sure.
If he doesn't, then that's also his choice. But if he decides that no, like I just want to stick to who I am and what I know, then it's not gonna fly for them, especially not in the US.
They're gonna need to learn to compromise, I think. And that's why I loved what she was wearing so much on this tell-all, because this was the embodiment of compromise
You're right.
in a piece of clothing. It was
You're
literally
right.
one arm completely covered, one arm completely nude.
You're right.
It's such a great metaphor for the compromise that needs to happen.
You are so right. Look at you getting deep.
Look at me. So then Sean brings up another issue in the relationship, which was Mahmoud chatting with the TV lady, which we talked about at the top of the show.
And like Mahmoud and Ahmed started laughing
I know.
after Sean said it. And Danielle was like, well, that's kind of disrespectful. Like, you basically were slightly accusing you of cheating or like of talking to another woman. What's so funny about it? And Ahmed says, well, in Egypt, when we have hard times, we laugh. And I get that. But what is hard about it is that you got caught for talking to someone. So because you feel like that's the hard time, you're going to laugh. Hard times meaning, let's say, not to get too sad, but when my grandpa passed away, we went to the funeral, we all cried, and then we went to the wake. And we were telling funny stories about grandpa, and we kind of brought some laughter into this just to kind of, well, you know, what else can you do? You can be sad, but you can also introduce some happiness with, not even happiness, but bring on some love. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a little bit different. I think you're coming from the point of, well, we laugh so we don't cry, but you're actively trying to find the humor in things, or you're actively trying to make the other person laugh and feel better. There's also people who have a reaction that is laughter or smiling to things that aren't good. Like my good friend, when people get injured, he laughs.
Tim?
Like, Matt. We would go snowboarding, we'd go sledding.
I'm judging him slightly.
And like, if he would fall or someone would fall, his reaction was to laugh. And I think maybe it was a nervous laughter. He was uncomfortable. Oh, was that person hurt? Or maybe it was something more psychotic. I don't know. But
I hope he listens.
But I think that is more what Mahmoud and Ahmed were saying, is like, when we're confronted, we laugh because it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's embarrassing. I don't think they were trying to laugh because someone was trying to make light or trying to make the situation better or just bring us a sense of joy to the moment. I think they were just, that's their natural reaction when things get tough, is to laugh. Not defending.
Listen, I get that, but I almost feel like what he was saying has more to do with what I just said. Like in hard times, you find something bright about the situation.
I don't think so.
But then this wasn't the time. That's what I was kind of
That's
trying
why
to
I think
say.
they were laughing, because they were uncomfortable. People laugh when they're uncomfortable, when they're put in a tough situation, when things get awkward. People laugh. And I think
but
this
why
was...
both of you are laughing? Like it was Mahmoud cheating. Why is Ahmed laughing?
But it's also a hilarious story. So there's...
I mean, it is, but...
There's that part too, where you're laughing because, wait, what? He was chatting up the TV saleswoman from another country, asking if she was getting back to her hotel room okay and what TV channel she likes to watch. Like, the situation is comical.
Also, if you're trying to buy a TV from someone in China, why do they go back to their hotel?
Right.
Right?
Well, the conversation strayed away from electronics and got a little more personal at some point, I'm sure.
Very true.
So,
all right.
So this is all happening, and Sean asks how Mahmoud would feel if Nicole was talking to another guy, and Mahmoud's like, "Well, I wouldn't be happy." Right? Classic hypocrite. And Gabe chimes in because
Classic Gabe.
he's been quiet for about 10 minutes now. So he's just boiling over, ready to speak. And he says, let me tell you something. I think you're so scummy. Words from my wife. Mahmoud has everything in a man I wouldn't want.
Which is true. There is nothing I would want you to adopt from Mahmoud,
Okay.
if I put it this way. But there is not.
Yeah, but maybe I know a place to get a good deal on a TV. You don't want me to...
You want to talk about our shitty TVs?
Yeah, we should.
Maybe you should go out there and find someone with a good deal on the TV.
Yeah, both of our TVs are failing, which is tough when you do a television
We
podcast.
just bought a new TV. That one isn't failing. Knock it.
It's because these were not built to watch 28 hours of TV a day.
Well, also, you want these Roku TVs.
I do want
and
a Roku
just,
TV.
They're no an amazing brand that is also a Roku TV. Like, we
Those
probably
sound-
got the most expensive one
Yeah,
and
those
it's
don't
still
exist.
failing. So
Yeah.
let's just say this. Like, it's not like, oh, we don't go out there and don't save our little money to get a decent TV. John wants the Roku TV and this is what we get.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to look elsewhere and
Well,
find.
listen,
I want a
I-
smart TV, obviously, with
I
the
love
apps.
the Roku TVs too. It's just, I love the programs and the way it's set up. It's just the actual TV keeps failing us. And we have two different brands.
Two different brands, both Roku TVs. But I was looking at a smart TV. It wasn't a Roku one. It had all the apps. But
Yeah.
the issue was the Roku TV allows Apple products to mirror to the
Yeah.
TV. When you get the other one, it's like a Google smart TV. And so you can't mirror your iPhone. You can't mirror your laptop to the TV. And we kind of need that
Yeah.
sometimes. So anyways, enough about us.
Yeah, but if you want to chat with someone in China about a good TV,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Just keep me
Thanks.
posted.
So Gabe says Nicole should get a divorce. You can find someone that has the same views as you. And this is where I thought it got a little worse than just giggling. Ahmed starts clapping. And Gabe's like, see, it's a joke to you. You're when I say that your brother should get a divorce, you're clapping. I don't know what the clapping was to react. Does he agree? Is he Like, I don't think Ahmed knows how tell-alls work.
No, but I think I know why he's clapping. I think he's clapping because I'm sure Mahmoud told Ahmed about Gabe and what happened prior. So Ahmed went into this knowing, all right, this guy might do some or might say some shit to me or to Mahmoud. And when he started clapping, I think he just went back to like, okay, bravo, you know it all. Okay, let me actually tell you how it is. Because then he did. He went back, he was like, all right, you don't know nothing about Mahmoud. You don't know nothing about the relationship. And I think that's why he clapped.
I think you're right. Yeah. Ahmed definitely had some insider knowledge about what went down.
But it was
previously.
true. It's like, out of all people out there, like, yes, you don't know each other. And Nicole and Mahmoud, they're trying to get to know each other and going through all these obstacles. But telling Nicole to get a divorce it's a little cringy. It's like, you can tell her, hey, like, you guys should try to work on the relationship. If it doesn't work well, then do what you think is best.
Right.
But go out there and be like, you should divorce him and find someone who better matches your beliefs. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah. That's a little bit too far.
Yeah.
So then the question of clothing comes up, and the question of whether Nicole will cover her whole body if Mahmoud makes it to the States, which is a question we'll get an answer to, hopefully shortly.
Yeah, but Mahmoud said, you know what? I'll keep asking her and see if she wants to obey.
See, but Nicole's response, she's already got some ammunition to fight against Mahmoud's requests. Mm-hmm. She's saying, "Oh, what I wear has nothing to do with my beliefs, right?
Yes,
you can dress one way and believe this the same thing that someone who fully covers
And
himself
that's
believes."
100% true. I believe that you do you, right? But again, you're talking to someone who grew up in a very strictly religious family with these strict traditions, right? So it's gonna be, I get Nicole, but it's gonna be up to Mahmoud, and hopefully he can be like, you know what, like, it's America. As long as she maybe doesn't walk around naked, I'm okay with it.
Let's see.
Because it's not gonna fly. Like again, they are not meeting in the middle. They're trying,
Compromise.
but it always is like Nicole is pissed. Then she does something. Then he gets pissed, and he's like, "Oh my god, okay, my love, okay, my love, like, okay, I don't want to fight." And he lets her, and then she goes farther, and they fight again, and then he's like, "Okay, my love." So they just need to meet in the middle and agree on things.
Yeah, I completely agree. Compromise would go a long way
Yeah.
for these two. All right, I think that's a good place to take a quick break.
Yeah.
When we come back, we will round this tell-all out, and it gets pretty good. So we'll be back in a second. And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Teresa. How are things on your end of the table?
Things are good. I'm loving this tell-all. I'm sad as the lust.
Yeah, I'm ready for some news stories.
I mean, I'm too, but this was a good season.
This was a great season. I'm still saying 3 parts. It's too long. It's too long.
No, it's not.
All right. Well, let's get back into it with Gabe and Isabel.
All right, we have Monica joining us.
Yeah. So Sean wants to know, have they been talking? Right? You guys had this big fallout in Colombia. Have you been talking, Gabe, to Monica? Monica doesn't think they have been. Gabe, like all of us, thinks a meme is a solid form of communication.
And apparently they talk every day because they send each other memes.
A
and
picture says 1,000 words.
That's very true. Monica's like, no, we don't talk. There's no talking. Which I agree with her. If you had such a bad fallout and you never talked about it, but you send memes to each other, that's not good.
Yeah,
Like, if you send memes to each other because you're friends or brother and sister, and that's how you keep the communication going, and once in a while you say something other than the memes, sure. But in this case, it's like you went from her not going to your wedding because she was pissed to you guys casually sending each other memes, calling it their relationship.
Right. What was the first meme that was sent?
Probably like the Homer like disappearing in his fence. Just like saying hello. You know which one, right?
Oh, completely just backing up into a bush. Yeah, right? Like, because you had this big fallout. She didn't go to your wedding. And then what's the first line of contact? If it's a meme.
This is a meme or like a GIF. That's what I think like they were probably trying to say. No? Memes or GIFs? Or GIF
No,
memes.
I think you know.
They said memes.
They said memes,
But I
but
feel
I heard
like-
GIF.
Yeah, no, they said memes. This is what I would do. You know how I always send you that little thingy chewing? When I send it to you when I'm hungry?
The thing chewing.
It's like,
No, you send me the seal smacking
yeah,
its belly
well,
saying snacky snacks.
yeah, that's what I send you when I'm hungry and you go to the store. But
Okay.
there's another one that I sometimes send you when we're talking about dinner and I'm hungry, and it's just this little thing just like chewing, like just
What's a little? What kind of thing is it?
it's like a little yellow thing with big eyes.
I
Just
don't
like
recall.
chewing. Oh, you know, I send it to you all the
Clearly
time.
don't send it to me enough, but
But that's me. It's like eating popcorn while watching the drama.
oh, fun. All right. So then Sean brings up how Monica didn't go to the wedding, right?
Yeah.
Wonders, have you guys talked about that? Were you able to settle that via meme? Gabe says, oh, I'm so non-confrontational, we haven't addressed it. Which, again, I find it hard to believe that he's non-confrontational when he was the main confronter on this tell-all.
I'll say this. If I don't have siblings, but if your sister didn't come to our wedding because of a silly fight that you guys had the night before, and this is hypothetical, I don't think I would forget it. I think it would stay with me, and I would be pissed at her for many, many years.
No,
and I
this-
could be polite to her at family gatherings, but I would be pissed.
This is totally on Monica.
Yeah.
And you even hear she was getting ready the day of the wedding. So she was planning on going, but what? She couldn't stop crying. So now that's selfish. Now you're saying like, oh, well, I'm such a mess. I don't want people to see me like this, so I'm not going to go. But you knew the right thing to do was go, and that's why you were getting ready to go.
Yeah, so apparently they went out the night before. We all knew it. And they were waiting for Isabel because she was stuck doing some wedding things. And when she finally got there, Monica said, oh, I need to go. And Gabe confronted her saying, oh, you always do this. And apparently she was the common denominator of all his failed relationship, which is like, why are you talking about it? I mean, you're getting married. So
Well, apparently she wanted to leave, and Gabe said, if you leave, Isabel's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
We're going to get into a fight. It's not going to be good for us. And Monica's saying, well, if that's all it takes for you guys to get into a fight, your relationship's not very good.
Yeah.
And, okay, that's not cool to say either. Maybe you're right, Monica, but that's not cool to say either the night before the wedding.
Yeah, but anyways, she went back to the hotel room, and the next day, she just decided not to show up. And then we get deeper, because apparently Monica is like, I didn't know any details. I didn't even know what color scheme the wedding is. I didn't know what dress to wear. No one told me anything. I didn't even know what my role was. It's like, Monica, you were supposed to officiate and also walk him down the aisle.
I know, but did Monica actually know that? Or do we only know that because Gabe said it to the camera?
I don't know.
I believe Gabe's a poor communicator.
Yeah, I believe he said that too.
I believe he bottles it up, and then maybe he explodes like he is doing on this tell-all.
Yeah.
But
anyways, Monica is like, well, look at me. I'm wearing the dress I was supposed to wear to the wedding, which was kind of like a, what?
I don't know, put it to good use.
I mean, it was a nice dress. But she goes like, look at me. Knowing what the theme was, I would have worn pink because that was the color scheme that no one told me about.
Right. And apparently Isabel's mom
made her dress, because here's the thing. And that's why I'm like, that's such a, if it's true, that's such a poor communication, because Isabel was like, you were supposed to be my bridesmaid. Yeah. We had a dress for you. And here's the thing. If mom is making a dress,
she got to know a size.
Some dimensions.
You got to know the size.
Custom-made dresses, it's not even like, oh, you're a size small. No, you need to. That person needs to measure you up. And I'm sure that mom could probably make it a little bigger and then make it fit on her, right? The day before or so. But you're not just going to make a dress for someone without telling them that, hey, I want you to be my bridesmaid.
So we think the whole story is BS, or who are we not believing?
I don't know. I almost feel like maybe because they couldn't communicate, so it was on Gabe, maybe he forgot to mention it to Isabel and to Monica. I was like, hey, Monica, Isabel wants you to be her bridesmaid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, weddings are so big, so important. You planned it way ahead. Isabel seemed to be planning everything. You met. You went to dinner, right? Before. We saw it. Gabe, Isabel, Monica, and her boyfriend. Why didn't Isabel say, hey, like, I need you to come for a fitting? And then Monica could have been like, what fitting?
Something's a little fishy.
Right? Something's fishy.
I'll give you that. I'm going to put it on Gabe mainly because I do think he's not the best communicator.
Yeah.
I also found it kind of cringy, somewhat inauthentic when he got up and he sat next to Monica and was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I think he's doing all the things he feels like are going to look good on camera. Like, I think that was, in my mind, this is what you do. You go over there and you sit down and you say, I'm sorry. But it felt so hollow. Like, it didn't really feel like a true apology.
Yeah.
And not that he's the one that owes an apology. I still think Monica's in the wrong here. But
Monica should have showed up.
But I do think Gabe probably dropped the ball once or twice and didn't communicate well.
Yeah, and it all comes down to even Gabe telling Isabel one thing and then telling Monica another thing. Made it sound like just not being clear, probably to avoid confrontations. But that's not how you communicate with your sister and your spouse or your future spouse. Just say the truth. It might hurt, but just say it.
Also, whatever happened with Monica's boyfriend, husband? Did he not go to the wedding?
Well, I think if Monica didn't go, I don't think he went.
What a waste.
Well, true.
So I'm with Jen when she's like, you guys should just get married again, have another wedding. There's so much love. Do it over. Like, yeah, I think that's probably a nice thing to do.
Yeah, and they're planning on doing a U.S. wedding, and Monica's like, I'll go to that one, and I'll wear that dress.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Monica.
So then they go to break. Jen is still fuming over the conversation with Rishi's mom.
Yeah, the age shaming.
She's crying backstage. She's like, I'm going to FaceTime Rishi. Why was she FaceTiming him a landscape? Did you see she was holding her phone sideways? Rishi was holding it portrait.
Yeah. I don't know, but she was like, fuck your mom.
It was aggressive.
But I get it. I get that his mom basically said, you're perfect, you're smart, you're perfect, but you're too old. And it is very harsh. But I still believe that I don't think mom meant anything ill. She just acts based on their customs. And we saw it many times with Jenny and Samir and Adna. This mom luckily wasn't like, I'm going to kill myself if you keep talking. She was like, you're perfect. The only thing that's wrong with you is that you're old, which again, it's horrible. It's horrible. It sounds horrible. It's definitely age shaming, but I still don't think that's what mom thought.
And we think it's because she wants grandkids.
Yeah.
And that's a viable reason to have the feelings that you have. But again, we're talking about communication here. Communicate that.
Yeah.
Maybe she thinks, oh, that sounds worse if I tell this woman that she's unable to have children. So I'll just say, oh, no, she's too old. But at least give context to why you're acting the way you're acting.
True.
So then Rishi's like, well, I'll do anything for you. You're my other half. Like, Rishi's not ready to give up yet.
No.
He said, I'll do anything. You'll do anything except stand up to your mom and tell the truth.
Well, he said he will. He's like, I'll take your side. I'm sorry on my mom's behalf. And it's really eating him up. Like, I feel like he's been put into this position when he already told his parents, told his mom and uncle, I'm going to marry her. And mom is like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And so I feel like he's in this position when, okay, who do I go with? The traditions, that's what I'm supposed to do. Listen to my mom, meet a woman she approves, marry her and live in mom's house, right? Or am I going to do what I want to do? And I feel like it's weighing on him.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I sit here from a place that's easy to say, oh, you go with love. Yeah. But I've never had to go against my parents in that.
Because you grew up in a non-religious, westernized family that your parents give you all the power to choose for yourself. I believe if I was unfit for you, let's say I was a total douche, and your parents would probably like, hey, like, maybe you want to like think about it a little more, right? But they wouldn't be like, John, you cannot marry Teresa. But I still believe your parents would have said something if they didn't think I'm right for you.
They probably would have. I'm interested, and call in if you know the answer or have experience with this answer. But I feel like a lot of people, and we see it in Match Me Abroad with Natalie, a lot of people who are supposed to be arranged, right? The parents want to arrange the kids. They don't want it. They know. I know this is tradition, but I want to find someone I love.
Yeah.
So I think it's falling out of favor in a lot of cultures, maybe, because we're seeing it more and more that people are going, no, I know this is how it goes traditionally, but it's not what I want.
Yeah. I mean, for Natalie from Match Me Abroad, even more so because she grew up in America.
True.
So she went to school. She got a college degree. She went to crazy parties and she was like, all right, all my friends are dating whoever they want. Why can't I?
But I know this is a sample of two, but you look at Sumit, you look at Rishi, and you're going, oh, okay. More and more people now are going against this tradition and trying to find love. And so to me, that would empower. If I was Rishi, that would empower me and go, you know what? I don't think the old-fashioned way is necessarily the right way. That's not where the world is moving. That's not where this culture is moving. And so that would empower me to stand up to my mom, stand up to my uncle, and say, I'm going to follow my heart on this one.
That's true. I'm with you, but I also feel like it just must be hard.
Sure. Oh, it's got to be next to impossible. But I still would choose my happiness over my parents' happiness.
Yes. I hate to say it, but yes.
So everyone gets back to set except for Jen. She's MIA. And Nicole says, well, she had this call with Rishi. She was very emotional. And Rishi's like, yeah, we had a video call and Jen kept bringing up her age difference. Jen was crying, but I also was crying. Like, I loved when he had to make it known
that he started crying.
He was getting very emotional. I mean, he's bawling in this moment when Jen finally walks out and Jen's like, babe, I know it was not your fault. I'm sorry it's making you so upset. And Rishi is taking responsibility and taking ownership of this because he's like, I feel like this is happening because of me. You're going through this because of me. Completely. Not only because she's involved with an Indian man, but because that Indian man was lying to her and his family. So it is on him.
It is. And so then we go to an actual break, and Jen is chatting with Gabe and saying, you know what, like, I love Rishi, he loves me, that's all we know, but at the same time, I'm gonna keep my options open because like that you don't know what's gonna happen with us. And she was like, if someone asks me for a phone number, I might give it to him.
Oh boy.
And Gabe is like, who did you give your phone number? Jen? And she was like, well, it's someone's son.
That happened fast. If we're to believe this is true, that happened very fast.
Yeah, so
Julian,
Debbie's
Deb's
son. And Jenny's like, I like him. I loved how he stood up for his mom. He's good looking, similar age. He has a career, and his family likes me.
Yeah. Gabe's like, well, I think it's good you're testing the waters because I don't know if Rishi's the one for you.
And that's honestly...
Gabe's got opinions.
Yeah, but I don't mind Gabe telling this to Jen between the two of them and saying, hey, just keep your options in mind. Not saying like, don't go back to India. Like, no, like, fuck him. If it's between the two of them, I don't mind it. You share your opinions with your friends, right?
Gabe doesn't know the whole story. That's the only reason.
Sure.
That's such a big statement to make. Oh, I don't think your fiance is the one for you. All you know is what you saw on a TV.
True.
So this it's a grand statement to make about someone you don't know and about a relationship you don't really know. It's one thing for us to say it on a podcast. It's another thing to tell the person to their face. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I don't think your fiance is right for you.
No, but I still feel like that was more appropriate than when he told Nicole to divorce Mahmoud.
To me, it's very similar. To
Okay.
me, it's one and the same.
Agree to disagree.
All right.
Back on set.
Back on set, we move to Danielle and Yohan. And we want to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are things going, Danielle? Some days a 20, some days a -5.
Yes. And they're talking about their biggest issues. And Danielle says it's communication. And it involves money. It involves jealousy. It's communication. And Yohan adds that it's also trust. And that's a big one.
Well, Yohan, I wanted to give Yohan's read because Danielle said 20, some days -5. Yohan says some days 8, other days 0. It's just interesting that they're both experiencing the highs and the lows. It's not like one person is, oh, it's a 0, or one person's like, oh, it's an 8. Like they both realize that there's high highs and low lows.
Yeah.
So they're on the same page there. But yeah, it's the trust, I think. I'm sure it's a little bit of the communication, of course, but it's definitely the trust.
Yes, and Tim and Veronica joined, right? And Tim said he is Team Yohan and Danielle, and he's like, they have a few issues. Who doesn't? Well, they have a few big issues, Tim, but some people do, yeah. And we see all the throwbacks to all the fights, the birthday party, meeting Talon, and Danielle's just like crying watching this, right? And we saw the throwback of Yohan not thanking Danielle for the birthday party.
Right. And I wasn't sure if that was like an editing trick when we watched it
He
in
just
real
didn't
time.
thank her.
He did not thank
And then
her.
Sean is asking, she's like, why didn't you thank your wife, Yohan? And he said, well, she told me the day before my birthday that she's going to hang out with her ex. So she ruined it for me.
Yeah.
And so in the moment, I was just upset. And I see his point.
He goes, you can't come here and do whatever. You can't just come and hang out with your ex when you're married. And Danielle says, well, those are 2 separate issues. It shouldn't affect the birthday party. It's like, come on.
If you tell him a day before, like the day before my birthdays, I'm excited. I want to know what we're going to do, right? If you came and it's like, hey, T, tomorrow's your birthday. By the way, I'm going to hang out with my ex. I'll be like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it
you
wouldn't-
ruined it for me. I'm mad at you. You're not hanging out with your ex, first of all. Second of all, if you are, then you and I have a way bigger problem. And thanks for ruining my birthday.
But it wouldn't just ruin the birthday, which is the thing. It would ruin
Everything.
the week or the month. So it's
Everything.
like, yeah, Danielle's trying to isolate, like, oh no, this 3-hour moment in time shouldn't be affected. It's like, it's going to affect everything.
Yeah.
So Debbie agrees that Danielle's in the wrong. It's the first time she has a good take. I think this tell all. She's like, when you bring an ex fun bunny into things, it's insulting. So she takes Yohan's side. Jen takes Danielle's side. She feels like, oh, you should trust your partner. And if you can't trust your partner, you shouldn't be in a relationship.
And it's true. You should trust your partner. But at the same time, there is no point of you hanging out with your ex unless I guess you are Tim and Veronica. I don't know who brought it up, but it's also a good point.
I think Sean brought it
They
up.
had a lot of issues. We watched them dealing with the fact that they are exes and they are freaking super besties.
Yeah, they said they took a year off from hanging out when they broke up. I also think they said if one of the people we're dating has a problem with it, we won't hang out with the other person. Like we saw it on The Single Life. I forget what his name was, but had a problem with him. And so they essentially broke up as friends for a time being. So I would never make a blanket statement like, oh, exes can't hang out. But I would say your loyalty should lie with your current partner.
Oh, absolutely.
And so that's where I disagree here. Is Yohan has a big issue with Talon. So then whose side are you taking? You should take your husband's side.
Yeah, and I think it's because Yohan looks at Talon and he sees himself in a way. He's younger than Danielle, tall dude, apparently big penis, right? They had a lot of fun together. So I feel like that's why Yohan looks at Talon and be like, all right, like, are you still into her? Like, what's going on? Why does she want to hang out with you? Why would she go and ruin my birthday just to go out with you?
Right. And we bring Talon in. He looked so happy to be there. He was
and
loving it.
He walks in, he's like, hi everyone. Hi Yohan. And Yohan just like stone face.
Yeah. So Sean's like, well, what's going on? Describe your relationship here at Talon. And he says, regular friendship. We don't talk a ton anymore, but we send a lot of memes. But she's someone I can go and have a conversation with when I need to, which probably is not the right thing to say when 2 minutes earlier, Danielle and Yohan were saying their biggest issue was communication.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I can really communicate with Danielle, but her husband can't.
Yeah, but there are no romantic feelings, nothing. They're just friends. And Sean is like, Yohan, how do you feel about them being the same city, in the same studio?
Really stirring the pot there, Sean.
Really, and you see her like playing with her rings and like holding like the little mic, a little earbud in her ear. I was like, okay, I'll stir the pot. And Yohan hates it.
Well, of course, but because we find out Danielle still has photos of Talon in her house.
In her drawer with all her photos. Like honestly, like if I went to your parents' house or even like if here in our house, you have a photo album with old photos and one of them is your ex, I would be like, okay, well, I don't love it, but I get it. Like it got mixed with your old photos. Like that was your life before. I can be like, oh, John, you didn't go through every single photo. Like I would not give you shit for that.
Yeah,
but
I don't think
if you put it on display, I would not be here.
I don't think it's that incriminating.
No.
Yeah, take it off your mantle.
Yeah.
Take it off the fridge. Take it off your Facebook. Like delete the photos you have with your ex in your Facebook.
You did that.
Sure. Because that is a show of something, I think. That's an active show of like, look at my social media. Look at this. Look where I've been. Look who I've been with. If it's buried in a junk drawer or in a photo album, sure. That's not top of mind. So, yeah, I think Yohan overreacted with this particular photo thing. But I'm with him when it probably doesn't feel great to have your wife in a city alone, staying at probably the same hotel with the ex when we know, oh, yeah, she loves hanging out with him one-on-one.
Oh, yeah.
They'll probably grab drinks at the bar one-on-one. So I get where Yohan's coming from there. But Danielle says, well, I'll apologize for any hurt I've caused Yohan. But he needs to understand it doesn't matter who I've had sex with. He's my husband. He's the one I want to be with.
Well, Yohan, however, he's like, I don't see Danielle as a partner I can respect and love. And I'm with Danielle until our lease is up. After that, we are going to part our ways.
This is probably the biggest shock of the tell-all.
Yeah, but Danielle keeps bringing up the fact that she's like, we always say harsh things to each other. We fight, and then we come back and be like, we crossed the line. And she did it on the show many times. Like, she's like, I'm done, right? I feel like he's doing this now. I don't think that they're over.
Oh, they should be. I don't think he's...
They absolutely should be.
I don't think he's necessarily being 100% honest with himself or us, but he should run.
Oh, they should be over 100%. They're not a good match, but they're not over. He's upset and he exaggerates, right? And she's like, we'll talk about it. We'll go to see a therapist. And you're like, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, because the therapist is probably Baba. It's probably like, here, take this tangerine and throw it on the ground 5 times. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not over, I don't think, or maybe they are. We'll have to look it up.
Gabe makes a somewhat interesting point when he says, I think Yohan's using this as a power move. Like,
yeah.
Danielle has all the power in the relationship. She has the money, but this is the one thing he can use against her is the relationship itself.
Yeah, and then Yohan comes back and say, well, Danielle keeps saying all these things, but she pays everything with my money I give her. We pay everything, we split 50-50, which cannot be true because we saw how much he makes. Last time he offered her all his money, which was $90. And
yeah.
I'm not counting his money, but Danielle wants to live a certain lifestyle. Well, she does need to pay for that. Like, she kind of shut down his meat business. The money he makes, that's what he makes, right? And, but Yohan coming back saying we pay everything, split everything 50-50.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
I don't see how it's possible.
Unless they're getting money from the show.
True. Now, that's interesting because I know not everyone is it the American gets paid?
Yeah,
I don't think they both get paid.
I don't know how it works.
But maybe that's what he's saying is, well, she's getting all the money from 90 Day because only the American gets paid and she's not breaking me off half of it. I'm saying keep it. So maybe that's where he's saying, yeah, we're 50-50. Yeah. That's an interesting point.
Well, who knows? But Yohan said they're over. Danielle says, we're not. We'll talk when I get back.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm kind of over them. And I want Yohan to find true love.
Yeah. Yeah, I want her to find someone crazy and come back on the show.
You want her to?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll
someone
see.
Like nuts.
Maybe we'll see her in
like
Taylor.
Yohan is too normal for her.
Well, that's why I want him to find what he's looking for. Which, if it's just a green card, no, I don't support that. But I don't see them being right together.
No.
She's
but
out
I
of her
want her
mind.
to find like a Baba 2.0 and I want to watch that.
I'm down for that. So that's that. Sean says it's a wrap, and it is no hotel rooftops.
No.
As I said, nothing offset, no
Gabe
backstage.
just disappeared. He just gets into the cab and leaves.
Gabe?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he threw a grenade and walked away.
Oh, yeah.
He was stirring the pot for 3 parts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I could have done without this last one. This was a big bombshell at the end.
I loved it. Don't listen to John.
All right. So, before the 90 Day, that's what's next.
Yes.
Until then, check us out on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Married to Reality. Love in Paradise is cooking over there. And Teresa didn't want to tell you, but our family affair bonus was mer people.
Real people?
Mer people.
Mer people.
Not steel people, mer people. So, Married to Reality Pod on Instagram, patreon.com/Married to Reality. Make sure you're following the podcast wherever you're listening. It's so easy to do. You just look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as this entire season.
This was an extremely hot season.
Such a hot
Scalding
season.
hot. Careful when you pick it up. Cool it down before you drink it because it was a very hot season.
Loved it.
That I thought fizzled out at the end.
Loved it.
All right. All right. Nothing as hot as this review from Jay Dudding, though.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the review, Jay Dudding. Nash Vegas.
I was just going to allow you to do it, but
well, thank you.
You went ahead.
For Jay Dudding. Anything for Jay Dudding. And anything for you guys. So please, if you haven't left a review, please do. We love. And if you haven't left one, that would make our day.
Yes.
All right. That's it. That's the season. It's always sad when one season ends, but
I know.
another one will begin. We have more than enough shows to talk about, so don't you worry. But for now, I've said it all. Have you said?
I've said it all.
All right. That means we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.